Good morning, everybody. My saint is Saint Dionysius. He was born in Athens, and he lived during Christ's life, but he did not know him, for Jesus was all the way on a different part of the world. And when he was 25 and he lived in Egypt, he was studying astronomy in one of the best universities in Egypt, when he witnessed a super darkening day. And it was like the true God must have been suffering. He wondered about himself. And then and a few years later, he got out of the university and he married a noblewoman. He was elected governing council in Athens. And then he was elected judge of court justice. In the year 49, he met St. Paul, and Dionysius asked St. Paul about why it turned dark. And St. Paul said, the day that it turned dark was because Christ, the Son of God, was suffering. Then Dionysius became a Christian, and a few years later, he was a deacon. And in the year 45, he knew Theotokos when she passed away, and he was there for the burial and the death of Theotokos. And in the year 58, St. Dionysius was the archbishop of a church and leader. And he was friends with Saints Paul, John, and Timothy. He was taught by apostles Paul, Peter, James, and John. He built a cathedral in Paris and stayed there and wrote psalms, and he could spend hours doing that. In the year 90, he visited John after John had received his revelation. He served in France only a few more years, for the Roman Emperor Dionysios started persecuting Christians in the land. October 96, St. Dionysius and a clergy of people were arrested and taken to a hill that is now called the Mount of Martyrs, for how many martyrs were killed on it. They had their heads cut off there. But when Dionysius' head was cut off, it seemed like the sun had disappeared, and he took up his head and he ran to his church. And where he fell down dead, where a noblewoman found him and buried him and gave him a proper funeral.
He took his head?
It's like he left many patristic writings for the church that are now wonders. And he is commemorated October 3rd.
Great.
He took his head. Just like
Wow, I haven't heard that before.
And then this is France, Athens, Egypt. And then there are facts on this board if anybody would like to come in.
I would like to
ask it.
Yeah, well, hold on. We'll look at it after the presentations are over. We can set it up over there. Hold it before you move. Are there any questions?
Why did he take
Isaiah?
up his head and run?
Isaiah?
Who exactly took his head and ran?
St. Dionysius.
After his head was cut off, he got up.
He got up and took his head. He just ran. He just picked it up and ran.
To the church.
To his church?
Yeah, he just ran to his church. It's so funny.
Wow.
The headless man.
So
The headless person.
he truly lived with the apostles, didn't he? And that he knew the Theotokos. What a story. All right. Good job, Ethan. Thank you.
Veronica.
Oh, okay.
Question.
The question?